stuff.
It's really exciting.
It's really exciting. And let's just drag it out.
Yeah, we can
torment
say
people.
Our extra special guest is our director. Bryan Howard. He will join us in the second half of the program. Right now, he's entertaining my child and his child in the front. No. I think he's doing more than that, but
he seems to be working a lot or something.
There's a lot of things happening.
Crazy.
Yeah. Mark's on the board there. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Who's here, Quinn or Win?
Win.
Win is, I'll have to go say hi.
Right. They're playing Just Dance. So see if you
fun.
can join in on a game of Just Dance.
I feel like we should have the live feed on them.
It is way more entertaining. Well, Molly, you said that your book chat for the first half of our show is going to be a little bit chaotic.
I'm going to call this a very Molly way of thinking through. So last night I was like, tomorrow is Friday.
Yes.
Did anybody tell me it was? I didn't know what day of the week.
Did anyone tell you it was Friday?
Nobody told me.
How dare them?
I mean, I just kept looking at what I need to do next, and then now it's Friday.
Right.
So we'll see how that turns out rest of my life. But last night I'm like, okay, what can I talk about? I'm behind on reading. I've got too much going on. And I was like, but I am chilling out some. Mm-hmm. So I flipped on Hoopla, and I decided to really check out the music. And the first thing that popped up, and this is where we're going to go down Mollyland, was Etta James.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, we can use Hoopla to find things with our names in it. Because my niece's name is Adeline Etta.
Oh, uh-huh.
Named after Etta James.
Yeah, sure. That's
my nephew is
do.
Emmett Ace, so I was also trying to find some Ace things. But then I'm like, Molly. I love my name. If you don't know, I'm one of those people who just, good golly, Molly Pitcher, Unsinkable Molly. I love all of them. You can call me whatever you want. And I decided to search, okay, what Molly's in there? And I can't believe it. The Essential Molly B, the person I'm named after, is in Hoopla.
Oh.
I know every listener here wants to hear the music of an old-time radio star.
Uh-huh.
She was a blonde with a pigtail, and my granny, who had 3 boys, desperately wanted a Molly B.
Oh.
And so I became her Molly B in 1976 when my mom looked at my dad and said, can we just give your mother her Molly? I can't think of another name. And that's how I came about. And now I can listen to her. It's just such a random one to find.
Yeah.
So then I started, just searching other names to see what I could find.
Right.
So if you have a name that's been in song or has an artist, or Hoopla will hook you up.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard more than Molly B's version of I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus.
Right.
I don't think I've ever heard anything else of her, and she's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Has a really tragic backstory. Had a little trouble with some drugs and alcohol, and kind of crashed and burned. But amazing musician.
Right.
Fantastic music.
That's how a lot of
Not
artists
super
are.
twanging. So if you like more classic country, more...
Like a Dolly Parton.
Like a Dolly Parton. Yeah, Johnny Cash,
Right.
just a nice melody, a nice story.
Right.
Go for some Molly B. Try it out.
Yeah. I love Hoopla's music selection. They really... It is the hits of right now.
Yeah.
You can get a brand new album that was just released yesterday.
Yes.
And I have. And then you can also find some of those classics. You can find musical soundtracks. I've really
the
binged
Broadway soundtracks.
Yeah, I binged a lot of musical soundtracks, especially as I'm getting ready. I haven't looked up yet. The next one that's coming to Columbus is Beetlejuice, the musical.
Oh, I need to go to that one.
I haven't looked to see. So, Mark, if you get your media ticks for that one, yeah,
I'll definitely go to that.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, Beetlejuice is going to be really fun. I haven't looked to see, so I'll have to check out Hoopla. Hoopla. Of course, Hoopla is free with your library card. Get your library card online. You can just go to DelawareLibrary.org/library card. You can get your digital version, and that digital code will immediately get you access.
And it's my favorite place to go when I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
Like, it's just when you're not overwhelmed by it.
Right.
It has a nice selection. What is it I want?
I found a really obscure comic book that I talked about last year, and it was called, I think, like 8 Billion Genies or something like that. And the concept was, what if suddenly, with no explanation, everyone on Earth got a genie that granted them one wish, and how would the world fall into chaos? And the story centers around one man who was smart with his wish, and he saw his genie, and he immediately said. He was a bar owner. He immediately said, I wish that everyone in this bar was safe and not affected by anyone else's wishes. Done. And then, so he had no changes while everything else in the world was insanity, because they're the people who are like, I want a pony and I want to fly and I want laser beams in my eyeballs, and all those sorts of things. But everyone in the bar was like, why aren't we affected by this chaos? And they open the door and they're like, whoa, and they come back in the bar. And I found that one on Hoopla.
The graphic novels on there are superb.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find everything on there. And if you're new to graphic novels, there's probably, because there are genres, it's not just everything superhero.
No, yeah.
It's all full of genres.
Right.
I highly suggest check it out. You'll find some historical, you'll find nonfiction, you'll find it all in there.
They are great. Well, that's a wonderful recommendation.
Random as I am today. Look up my own name.
I have one of my last audiobooks that I have kind of binged through in the month of January and February. And this one is called Who Do I Think I Am? Stories of Chola Wishes and Caviar Dreams. And I have to say it with a little bit of a Spanish, edition flair.
Did you do this on the audio as well?
Oh, yeah. Because it is read by Angela Johnson Reyes. And if you know Angela Johnson Reyes, then you know her from Mad TV. She was one of the characters on that show for quite some time in the 90s, 2000s. And she made a viral sketch nail salon with her kind of social media persona. But then she also had her Mad TV character, Bonquiqui. And but what she is known and loved for is she does clean humor.
Yes.
And she is kind of a born-again Christian. She grew up in Christianity her entire life, but didn't really embrace it until she got into adulthood. Mm-hmm. It was kind of just part of her life, which is, I think, a story that a lot of Christians can relate to, is that, I went to church when I was young, and then I kind of went away from it, and then I found it again, when I was a little bit more into it when I got older. And so that's one of her things, is that she has clean humor. But she talks about, so this is her biography, Who Do I Think I Am? And she talks about growing up. She talks about her relationship with her mom, with her dad, their separation, what that meant to her, some of the shenanigans that she got into, how she really felt, confused about her identity, because she is a Latina woman, but also she was born in America, and her parents were born in America. And so she felt very American, and she didn't speak Spanish. But she lived in this neighborhood that was a very, Latin neighborhood, and people are, speaking Spanish to her, and she was like, I wanted to be that girl. I wanted to be that girl with that big hair and all that makeup, and I wanted to be a chola. And she was like, and I just, so I pretended. I played like I was. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I was, And so then she really embraces that side of her identity. She has a cool story about how she wanted to be an actress. And this was highly relatable if you grew up in the 90s and 2000s when you were
so wanted discovered.
Yeah, I
wanted discovered so bad.
You walked around the mall and you looked your best when you were walking around the mall, because you were like, someone's going to discover me, because there were all these ads on TV about these talent agents at the mall.
They were out there.
They were going to find you. And what you came to find out is that it was you paid them a whole lot of money for them to tell you that you stink, and then and then you don't go anywhere with it. I did have one friend in high school who did get involved with one of those talent agencies, and she did book a gig where she was a lip model for Lip Smackers, and I was like, stop it.
Please tell me she got free lip smackers.
Oh yeah, she got free lip smackers, and I would go and hang out at her house, and I was like, show me all your lip smackers. It was amazing.
I don't think anyone today understands what it was like to have the lip smackers collection.
I was like, and there were the ones that were flavored, and the ones that had glitter, and the ones that had shine, and oh my goodness, yes.
And I'd just sit and constantly, I had the shiniest lips of all time in junior high.
Yeah, and she shares a story that's very similar, that is highly relatable if you grew up in that era. And then she talks about how she actually, did kind of make it, and then not make it, and then really made it when she got to Mad TV. So it's one of those really nice, enjoyable stories Who Do We Think I Am, Angela Johnson Reyes, stories of Chola Wishes, and Caviar Dreams.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And, I love a little good, clean humor because there's some things I can watch with my husband and I don't want to watch with my mom.
No, right. Absolutely not.
So,
I mean, like I said, her backstory has, ups and downs. And so she gets into some things that, she's like, yeah, hey, it wasn't great, the things that I got into, but now this is where I am. So
isn't that all of our stories?
I think so.
We've all done it good and wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to tell you, listeners, you do not want to miss the second half of this show because we have big things to talk about with our director, Bryan Howard. And so stay tuned and we'll see you on the other half. Welcome back, listeners. Thank you for joining us for Off the Shelf. Thank you to our sponsors, Beanbag Books and Helpline of Delaware and Morrow counties. We love them so much.
So much.
We have in studio with us Molly Meyers LaBadie, my co-host, and then, of course, Bryan Howard, director of the Delaware County District Library. Hi, Bryan.
Hi, Nicole. Good morning, ladies. How we doing?
We're doing great.
Doing good.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You're doing a really good job at matching the energy this morning. I think you've had your coffee. I think you're awake. You're good to go.
I am awake. Well, that's about as far as we'll go with it. Yes.
I know it takes a lot to match this energy over here.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
Late night at the Blue Jackets game last night.
And
so,
they
yes.
won.
But a win,
Yes,
a
good
W.
win. Yes.
Yeah.
I was at Tuesday's game and we lost with 1 second left.
Yeah, I was there too.
Oh, were you there?
I was I was like, what? You couldn't block for 1.4?
2 1-second goals,
Second.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was incredible.
that's heartbreaking
Yes.
It
for a
is.
Valentine's Day.
My post
Match.
was, well, they didn't give me a win, but they gave me this carnation.
Ooh. All right, listeners. Well, we promised you big news here on the second half of the show. And so, Bryan, I will let you do the honors to reiterate the announcement that we made to our public on Monday.
Well, we are very pleased to announce that we have a grand opening date for the new Liberty branch of the Delaware County District Library. We will have a ribbon cutting on Sunday, March 26th. We'll begin at 1 o'clock. And our first official day of being open to the public will be the following day, Monday, March 27th.
I am so excited. I am
Yes.
so excited.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. And
Yes.
as the listeners know, we passed a levy that funded this branch back in 2018. Thank you for helping us pass that. And
Absolutely.
then we have been just on a long journey of architects and construction managers and sites and everything.
Ordering books,
Right.
ordering trash cans, ordering toilet paper.
It's the little things that you don't think about,
Yes.
that you realize that you need to operate a building. You need toilet paper to
looking
operate
at
a building.
each other and being
Yes.
like, do we have toilet paper? And then, of course, if you've ever met our facilities manager, she's like, of course I have our toilet paper ready. Why do I ever doubt? Ever.
Yes. So that is our big announcement. Sunday, March 26th, the entire public is welcome to join us at the Liberty Branch Library
Yes.
between 1 and 4. 1 o'clock will be a ribbon cutting ceremony, no longer than 15 minutes because we want to get you in that building.
And you may drive by it and see a lot of action the next couple weeks. So we want to make sure that's March 26th. Just because you're going to see us in the building doing very important things for libraries. We're going to be filling the bookshelves.
Yeah. I was going to say, Bryan, can you talk a little bit about what's happening next week?
Big week next week. Next Wednesday and Thursday, we will be receiving 2 semi-trucks.
2.
Just packed full of books. We'll be
Over 40,000.
Yeah, about 40,000 books. We'll be receiving probably close to 3,000 boxes of books in those 2 days.
Goodness.
So we got to get them off the trucks and onto the shelves so that we can be ready on March 26th.
And I can't wait. We have so many, we have the most amazing library team. Sorry, other librarians, but we win with
Yes, we do.
who works with us. And we have so many staff who are like, let me in there. Let me get those books on those shelves. And I cannot wait till we start seeing it look like a filled library.
It's going to be a wonderful feeling being able to open all those boxes of brand new books and get them on the shelves for the public to as soon as we open, take them right back off the shelves.
You're going to take with all of them is my
That's right,
expectation.
yeah.
Be kind to us after you all check out all of our books on the first day.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. So when we open, on that Sunday the 26th, we will not be checking out books, but we will be signing up library cards. So come get your library card. And then on Monday the 26th, get ready to come and check out your books. Fill that hold shelf with your requests and put them that you want to pick them up at Liberty or at the Liberty drive-thru, which we have operational as well. So the books are coming next week. You know, there's a lot of manual labor involved in the things that we have. And I didn't even do that much yesterday, but I was telling Molly that I'm sore. My team of 3, we got to the branch and we were adhering. Well, first we were disassembling and pulling apart the end aisle signage that is going to tell you what lives on that shelf, the thing that says fiction, AAB.
Which is really helpful when we have to put those things on that shelf.
To put the books on that shelf.
All of them. They're blank shelves right now.
But we spent 8 hours unwrapping, disassembling, pulling apart, adhering, and I am sore.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's only going to get worse
I know.
next week.
Yes.
Right. I walked by Molly and Bryan. They're having a meeting, and I said, hey, when we send out the memo to remind people, like, wear comfortable shoes, comfortable clothing, layers, all that kind of stuff, tell them to bring, like, those gardening things that your knees go on. And my knees hurt.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of repetitive movements.
We're doing a lot of, we're very aware of that. So we are looking at a lot of rotation for our staff. I want the listeners to know that we're going to make sure all of your librarians are in great shape by the time you get there. We're going to take care of them.
You didn't know that your librarians were like going to be bodybuilders by the time
but they will.
this branch opens.
Well, and I've been given gloves because I am not to be trusted with tape measures anymore. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I managed to injure myself on a tape measure.
No, that doesn't surprise me. They hurt.
Well, that didn't surprise my husband. He's like, of course.
Yeah.
If there is something you can hold, you're going to hurt yourself on it.
Bryan, what's a fun secret of this library that you can give our listeners a little taste of?
A fun secret.
Maybe not a secret, but yeah, what's something that'll be a pleasant surprise?
I will say that we have heard from our community, our patrons, the love that they have for the maker space that is at our Delaware location. Mm-hmm. And I will just say that what we have at Liberty will be every bit as good, if not better, than what we do have at Delaware now when it comes to our maker space. Yeah. So I can't wait for everybody to get in there and see the equipment that we'll have down there.
Yes.
And the things that they'll be able to make and create with that equipment. So that's going to be pretty awesome.
I think it really will go to show the difference between the space at Delaware for the Maker Studio was retrofitted. Yep. It did not exist originally as a Maker Studio. And this space at Liberty was created with a makerspace in mind. And so I think that's going to be one of the differences that you're going to see is when concept comes to fruition versus when, something kind of turns into what it is. I think there'll be a big difference there.
Technology manager's face as this thing has evolved too. Watching her go from, okay, this is so much to do to yeah, I got this.
We got this.
And I know her whole team is doing something very similar right now.
Yeah, yesterday they were putting backgrounds on computers. They were like, hey, we're using the logo. I was like, I saw.
I would like to give a shout out. We have some of the most impressive cord management I've ever seen in my life. It's the details that can matter. And we have a team that is making sure every detail from the way the cords hang to, what the toilet paper in the bathrooms.
Right. So I think the Maker Studio's got some fun secrets that you're going to see. That is also a big thanks to our friends of the library.
Absolutely.
They've been doing some huge fundraising for that, and they have lots of donors that they are going to be thanking at their own special event. And so you're going to really – and speaking of the friends of the library, what's special about the branch with the friends?
They have their own space in the library where they can do their own book sales.
Not weather dependent.
Not in a garage.
Yes.
No, we're getting them out of the garage.
Yeah.
Well, they'll still be in some garages.
So they have a nice space in the lower level of the building where they will have their own shelving, their own operations, and they will operate a lot of the book sales out of that space moving forward. So we're really excited about that as well.
There's another little fact I want to point out with that, too, is we are going to kind of be encouraging you to when you're ready to donate books to us after we've opened,
Please.
after the 27th,
Right.
please not before. But we're going to encourage you to bring those right to the Orange Library because that's the space. Liberty.
There you go.
Not the Orange. It's actually the exact. Don't go to Orange. Take it to Liberty because that's where we're going to have those book sales. It'll help them get those quicker. It'll help us make sure that process goes smoothly. So start putting in the back of your head. We're going to have a really great place to drop off books and get them sold, which helps fund our programs. If you don't know what all the money they raise is, they help us program. They take care of our staff. They do all the things that we don't have the funding to do.
And when you come to the ribbon cutting, the Friends will have their own table booth set up where you can sign up to become a Friends member, learn more about the group. So please, when you do come to the ribbon cutting, take that time to visit them and see all the wonderful things they do.
Yeah.
Tons of perks that come along with being a friend.
Yeah.
Plus, you're my friend.
Yeah. I think if people have not driven by this building, it is located. Everyone, we're so excited because we've been living in this since 2018, 2019, that we're like the Liberty branch. And then we get questions on social media that are like, where is it?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
I'm sorry. It's located on the corner of Holm and Stites Roads. It's in Liberty Township, but was just annexed into the city of Powell. So it's at the very north end of the city of Powell, northwest corner of Liberty and Stites, or Holm and Stites Roads. And it is a beacon of a building.
Yes.
It is planned to be part of a larger development, but we are the first there on that corner. We are the cornerstone. And so we really do stand out from what's right there in the community. And it is a 3-level building. It
really is.
You walk in, and the first level is going to have children's collection and some kind of like quick grab collection. But then the lower level, which we've been talking about a lot, is the Maker Studio and the Friends. But then what do we get on the second level, Brian?
The second level, we have an abundance of study rooms for individuals to come in. I believe 7 of them.
Yes.
We have a wonderful, nice size, quiet space up there. Closed doors where you could just go in, relax, chillax. Fireplace. We have, here's another little secret, we have a porch on the second floor where you can just go out, sit in a chair outside, and just enjoy the beautiful weather that we're not having right this second.
Not yet, but it'll be.
We did a couple days ago. It's Ohio. Just wait a minute.
Right.
And we have an amazing teen space on the upper levels on the upper level as well, where they have their own furniture, their own enclosed space. It's
coming together.
The teen space is really cool.
It is. Their collection's in the room, which makes me so happy.
Right. And it's got this cool, like, kind of C or like U-shaped, half circle, like seating area with a TV in front of it for, presentations, doing whatever, like whatever they want to do, hooking up game consoles.
Working on schoolwork together, a group project, trying to get it together and organized. Whatever you're thinking you want to do. All kids are different.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool. Any parting words, Brian, that you want to share with us about Liberty?
Just thank you to the community, for all of the residents of Delaware County for passing the levy that's making this happen. Thank you for the patience of the community as we work through to get to the completion of this building. And thank you to the staff for all the hard work that they have put in to make this happen. So it's really been a long time coming, but it's nice to be able to see the fruit of all the hard work that we've put into it.
Yeah, and we have a date. So put on your calendars Sunday, March 26th at 1 p.m. to join us for the ribbon cutting, or come anytime between 1 and 4 p.m.
Yes.
And then we're open for business on Monday, March 27th.
Yep.
It's probably going to be.
there.
I was going to say it's probably going to be your spring break if you have a child somewhere in one of the Delaware County school districts. So take a day during spring break and stop by and visit us.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks for joining us, Brian.
Thanks for having me. You guys have a wonderful day.
You too. Molly, we're going to keep talking a little bit about some of the programs that we have coming up, but I want to touch quickly on one that we have today. It is for Black History Month. It is Black History Heroes, Soldiers, and Spies. It's going to be at the Orange Branch Library at 2 p.m., performed by our good friends at the Bright Star Touring Company.
Bright Star has just been amazing. I absolutely love everything they're doing for us.
Yes, they really are wonderful. So this is going to be, it's usually a team of 2. They come and they perform some sort of drama, and usually they're in multiple characters. Like between those 2 people, they're in like 8 different characters throughout the course of the show. All right, so that's happening today at the Orange Branch at 2. Please definitely make a chance to come by. As we get into next week, we have all of our regular story times happening. A reminder about Monday. What's happening on Monday, Molly?
It's a holiday.
Nothing.
Nothing is happening on Monday.
Yes.
Molly's going to sleep in.
Yes. So we have some new holidays that we're observing as the library this year. So for the first time in forever, on Monday, February 20th for President's Day, we are closed.
We are.
We are closed. So you'll see on the calendar, depending on if you're using our app or our regular calendar, that we had an Art Explorers that day. It's rescheduled for a different day. So don't come to the library.
And if you need something to do, there's a free game you can download on your phone called Presidents versus Aliens. And you answer presidential trivia and you save Washington, D.C. by shooting the aliens at them. So just, if you want to celebrate the presidents, right? There you go.
I think that's our kicker. I think that's what we end on. Well, as always, thank you for being my co-host, Molly.
Always love it.
Thank you for joining us, Bryan.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for getting over here, Gage. We're glad to have you on the board now.
Of course.
And listeners, until next week, we will see you in the stacks.